In the UK, earning £60,000 a year puts you roughly in the top 15% of earners. That's good money. So why does your bank account tell a completely different story? Why are you still struggling to save when you earn more than most people? If you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. Today, I'm going to show you why you're still struggling to save on a £60,000 salary, and by the end of this video, you will understand why earning more doesn't automatically mean saving more. Hi, I'm Cici. I'm a chartered accountant with a master's degree in finance. Let's dive in. Let's start with a simple scenario. Imagine you are currently earning £50,000 a year. Then one day, you get offered a £10,000 pay rise. Your salary jumps to £60,000. You'd expect that to feel like a massive upgrade. After all, £10,000 is a lot of money. You'd imagine yourself saving more, investing more, and finally having some real breathing room. But does it actually feel that way? Let's look at the real numbers. At £50,000, after pension contribution, income tax, and the national insurance, your take-home pay is roughly £3,144 a month. At £60,000, it rises to around £3,635. Think about that. A £10,000 pay rise should mean an extra £833 a month. But in reality, your bank account only sees about £490. So where did the rest go? A big part goes to income tax and the national insurance, because once your income goes above £50,270, that part of a salary starts being taxed at the higher rate, 40% instead of 20%. So that pay rise doesn't feel as powerful as it looks on paper, because nearly half of it is taken before it ever reaches your bank account. But there is another layer to this tax trap. Let me show you something even more frustrating. Let's rewind to 2021. Imagine you are earning around £48,000 a year. You had a decent place to live, your bills were covered, and maybe you could even save a little each month. Fast forward to today, your salary has increased to £60,000. You think, brilliant, I'm making £12,000 more. I should be doing so much better. But are you? Think about what's happened over the last few years. Mortgage rates have doubled, rent has gone up, energy bills have skyrocketed, and your weekly food shop costs significantly more for the exactly same basket. Because of inflation, a £60,000 salary today only buys the exactly same lifestyle that £48,000 did back in 2021. You haven't upgraded your life, you are just paying more to stand still. And here's the real trap. While prices have jumped by more than 20%, that 40% tax threshold has been completely frozen at £50,270 since 2021. Think about what that means. If the government had adjusted the threshold for inflation at £60,000, you might still be a basic rate taxpayer. But because it stayed frozen, you are now a higher rate taxpayer, even though your purchase power feels almost the same as it did when you were earning £48,000 a few years ago. Your salary went up, but after tax and inflation, it doesn't feel like you are getting ahead. And that's just what happens before the money hits your bank account. Because once that remaining cash actually arrives, you hit the second wall, the brutal cost of completely normal life. Let's use a realistic example for someone living in the Southeast. Your numbers may be slightly different, but the pattern is the same. Let's say your take-home pay is around £3,600 a month. Sounds pretty good, right? But look at how fast it vanishes. First, a typical mortgage or rent in the Southeast easily swallows £1,300. Straight away, over a third of your money is wiped out. Then the fixed bills roll in, council tax at £180, and the utilities, broadband, and phones adding another £300. Just like that, half your take-home pay is gone before you've even bought a loaf of bread. Next is daily survival. Your monthly food shop, £500 is completely standard now. Commuting, fuel, and car insurance, another £350. And if you have kids, childcare can easily cost another £500 a month if you are lucky. Suddenly, you are left with only around £500. And as you can see, none of these are luxury purchases, just the cost of a normal life. So if you are earning £60,000 and wondering why you are not saving as much as you expected, it doesn't automatically mean you are bad with money. In many cases, the gap between your income and your essential expenses is simply much smaller than you imagined. And for some people, even that remaining £500 disappears before the month is over. Not on things they want, but on debt repayments and interest. When you're earning £60,000 a year, you've worked hard to get there. Naturally, you want to enjoy some of the rewards. Maybe it's a holiday or a new phone. Maybe it's some furniture for your home or something you've wanted for a long time. The problem is that you don't quite have enough cash sitting in your account to pay for it comfortably. But you do have a credit card or a buy now, pay later option like Klarna or ClearPay. You don't have to transfer the money today. You don't see your bank balance drop today, so it doesn't really feel like spending. And you tell yourself, it's fine, I'm earning £60,000. I can easily clear this next month. But next month arrives, and the mortgage, bills, and the groceries are still there. So instead of clearing the balance, you only pay part of it. And that's where the real cost begins. Think about it. A decent saving account might pay you 4% interest a year, but many credit cards now charge around 25% to 30% interest. The bank pays you 4% to save, but charges you 30% to borrow. If you carry a £3,000 balance at that rate, you are throwing away roughly £75 every single month just in interest. It's simply the cost of carrying that. When you only had around £500 left to begin with, that £75 quietly eats up your breathing room before you've even repaid a single pound of the actual debt. You are essentially using tomorrow's money to pay for yesterday's rewards. But even if you don't have credit card debt, your savings still might not grow. Why? Because of something called lifestyle creep. Imagine your salary jumps from £40,000 to £60,000. When you were on £40,000, you watched every penny. You hunted for supermarket yellow stickers, thought twice before ordering a takeaway, and took the bus instead of an Uber. You probably told yourself, when I earn £60,000, I will keep my life exactly the same and save the actual cash. But once that pay rise hits your account, your mindset changes. You think, I work hard, I deserve a slightly better lifestyle. I shouldn't have to count every penny anymore. And that's when the invisible upgrades begin. Your weekly shop moves from Lidl to Marks Spencer. There goes an actual £100 a month. You go out for dinner more often and order a cocktail instead of tap water, another £150. You upgrade your phone or laptop earlier than you really need to, which easily adds another £50 a month. Then convenience creeps in, an Uber instead of waiting for the bus, or a Deliveroo instead of cooking after a long day. That's easily another £150. None of this feels reckless. You are not buying designer bags or flying first class. You are just making normal life a little more comfortable. But when you add it up, that's easily £500 extra every month. And this is the problem. Your income increased, but your everyday lifestyle increased with it. So instead of saving the extra money, you quietly absorbed it into everyday life. That's why someone can move from £40,000 to £60,000 and still feel like their savings haven't changed much, because lifestyle creep doesn't usually happen through one big stupid purchase. It happens through lots of small reasonable decisions. But here's the interesting thing. You probably know people who earn less than you, face the exactly same living costs, but still manage to save more. So what are they doing differently? It usually comes down to one thing: the order in which they manage their money. You see, most people manage their money in this order. First, salary arrives, they pay the bills, spend on daily life, and then, at the very end of the month, try to save whatever is left. The problem? There is usually nothing left. And this isn't because they are bad with money, it's because human psychology works against them. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine it's after payday. You've paid all your regular bills and you still have £1,000 sitting in your current account. One day, you only pop into town to buy a few essentials. Then you see a gorgeous dress you've been dreaming about for a long time. It costs £100. You wanted something like it for months. So you check your bank balance and see £1,000 sitting there, and naturally you think, £100 isn't a big deal. I'll still have £900 left, so buy it. Because spending £100 doesn't feel like a big decision when you can still see £900 sitting in your account. Now, let's look at a different scenario. Same person, same income, same bills, but this time, the moment your salary arrives, you immediately move £900 into savings or investments. Now, your current account only shows £100. 1 week later, you see the exactly same dress. Do you think it feels the same? Probably not, because psychologically, you don't feel like you have £1,000 anymore. You feel like you only have £100 in your account. And spending that £100 means your account balance drops to zero. That feels very different, and that changes your behavior completely. This is why saving isn't just about discipline. It's about having a system that makes saving happen first, not last. And that leads to one of my favorite personal finance quotes. Most people save what's left. Wealthy people spend what's left. So if there is one thing I'd like you to take away from today's video, it's this. Earning more money doesn't automatically make you wealthier. Keeping more of what you earn does. And that means 3 things. First, understanding how tax affects your income and then making sure you're not paying more tax than you need to. I covered some of this in my previous video. Second, keeping your biggest living costs under control and avoiding expensive debts whenever possible. And most importantly, having a system that helps you save before you spend. The good news is, unlike tax threshold or inflation, this is something you can actually control. In my next video, I will show you exactly how we manage our money to save more every month, control lifestyle creep, and keep more of what we earn. If this video helped you understand what's really going on, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.